Good afternoon. I am out here today and looking to have me a little bit of fun. I am not working on the house at all today. I had some things I had to take care of this morning, but I've got the rest of the afternoon. First thing I'm going to do is tackle some of this scrubby grass on the hill right here. And then I'm going to do something that's just for me. Got to push that in just a little bit. Get her going. It's a nice warm day, 50 degrees outside. Been looking forward to getting this mess cut down a little bit just to make it look a little bit better. Then I got a place down at the bottom here that in the back of my head I have dreams of having a food plot out here for hunting. Right now it looks like a jungle.
One of the best things about the tough cut mower on this tractor is that it drops what it cuts right inside the little containment area. It very seldom kicks anything out. With the bigger tractor and the rotary cutter, I was always worried about tossing things out of there. It was nothing to throw a rock out of there at 100 miles an hour, and those windows are too expensive to be busting all the time.
All right, that was the warm-up. Hoping that the stabilization on here is doing its job, because I know that was a rough ride. It's going to be a rough ride down here too. Now, I've got a spot down here that is absolutely overgrown. But to give you an idea, a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, I had a hunting blind right here. And I could overlook this small clearing. All this stuff has grown since then. It's so thick that I can barely walk through here. And there are piles of debris everywhere down here. This area through here, this is what I'm trying to get to. I want to clear this out as much as I possibly can. Oh man, I am cutting my legs up on these briars as I go through here. This is thick stuff. I mean, you just can't see through it at all. I'm gonna open it up. I'm probably gonna have to jump on and off the tractor to move some of these logs that are laying in the way. But I'm gonna try to open up this trail and open up this field. I'm about to have some fun.
This first piece that I'm cutting right here was the drag trail where they pulled all of the wood out when they were doing all the cutting on our land. So it sits down a little bit lower than the rest of the land, and it got scarred up pretty bad. There's still a lot of debris on it, but the tough cut mower is raised up enough that it can cruise along over top of most of it without hitting it. I'm really just cutting my teeth with this piece of equipment. It's hard to describe how satisfying it is with the combination of maneuverability and just raw, primal, destructive capability this thing has. You get a lot of brand loyalty when you talk to people about power equipment. I've had some people tell me to get rid of this machine and said it's just an overgrown lawnmower. Overpriced, underpowered. Well, I've got a 73 horsepower tractor with a 7-foot cutter on the back of it that can't do what this does. Now it can definitely cut this stuff down, most of it anyway, but it can't maneuver around this stuff the way this does. Not with stumps in the field. Not with piles of debris. I've literally crawled over piles of debris, cutting the stuff that was growing out of it with this thing. Every time I think I've run up on the end of what it can do, it shows me something else. This field hasn't been opened up like this in more than 4 years. Now I said it was a learning curve, and you can hear me burning up the belt on this thing. This is a belt-driven PTO. When you get stuck, instead of breaking something, it just slips that belt. But it'll burn it up, and as I'm about to find out, that heat will cause it to stretch. And then you need a new one.
down. Now I know I got another belt up in the shed, but I don't think it's the right one. Like everything else, those belts are in short supply right now, so I need to acquire another one to replace that. The way that works, this is a belt-driven PTO. It's one of the things that keeps you from damaging it real bad when you get hung up on something. At worst, you burn up a belt. Now, it's possible that I hung it up a couple of times. I probably heated it up. I didn't know you could stretch one. But that piece right there, the belt should be over top of that. So I need to, first thing I do is loosen this, right? Then I need to feed this in here, get it back on there. I mean, the way it's behaving, at first I thought there was something jammed down in here that kept making it come off, but the reality is, I believe that it's just not tight enough. Yeah, all right, that's back on that. Now you put this on here, and you're supposed to just push this in, right? That tightens it up. The problem is, I can see when I turn it on, this belt's jumping all over the place. And it's not snug. There's too much play here. It should be tight. But when I turn this thing on, it's jumping all over the place. And I just don't think it should be that loose. Let's take a look at what I did get done. This is one of those to be continued. I got up in here. You can see where I came down by hand and stacked up all the debris in the center. And I had a rake. I turned the soil up with it. I had a very moderate amount of success. I had some clover that took hold, and some of the brassica took hold, but not a lot. So this stuff, this weedy stuff, overtook it in the next year, and I just have been too busy working on the house. But this Ventrac's gonna let me get down here and reclaim all this. I'm gonna cut this open and turn this into a little food plot. I can come down here with the coyote once I get the rest of this scrub stuff out of the way with the grapple, grab that debris and take it up the hill, put it in a burn pile. So I can make a few changes here and improve my hunting land. And that is one of the things about living out here in the woods that was the most appealing to me, was being able to hunt my own space. Well, I guess I gotta jump in here and head on back up, because looks like my cutting is over for the day. That thing just, it's too loose. I'm gonna leave it run for a minute so it'll cool down. Now, I was planning on getting that whole thing cut. I wanted to get some work done here cutting stuff, so. Well, I guess there's nothing for me to do but grab my rifle and go sit in the woods for the rest of the day. It's a hard life, but somebody's got to do it. I appreciate y'all watching. Hit that subscribe button before you leave. Come on back and check us out again here at Breakheart Orchard. And if you're just finding out about us through the Ventrac video, you might want to come back and watch us finish building this house. My wife and I have been building this 2,500 square foot house, just the two of us, on the weekends. We'll see you next time. Those thorns are brutal. I don't think I'm gonna be able to push that big boy down. That thing's too big. That's bigger around my wrist.